40 years, so my voice can travel. Alan is the Vice President of the Friends of Maple Grove, and she'll do an introduction.
That's right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to today's concert. We are the Friends of Maple Grove, as Carl has said, and we put on almost 50 events every year here in this space and in this cemetery. And as part of that mission to bring people in to this cultural center of Queens, we like to also tell you about people who are buried here. So every concert that we have, every event, is dedicated to someone who is buried here at Maple Grove. And this is no exception. Today's performance will be dedicated to Maestro Roy A. Prescott, who died in 2019, and we met up with his daughter recently, and she is also a performer and would love to do a performance in tribute to her father. So we invited her to come here and do that, and she'll be here tonight at 6 o'clock for a free event. So if you want to go to dinner and then come back, you're welcome to do that. Perfect timing, right? 2 concerts in one day and they're both free. Who can beat it? So anyway, but Roy Prescott was really amazing, and I'm surprised that we didn't know of him before. But he was a baritone soloist, he was a composer, he was an arranger, a choral conductor, a church organist, a choir director. What else could this guy have done? A voice teacher, a vocal coach. Recitals at Carnegie Hall, baritone singer for the New York City Opera Extra Chorus, and a founder and director of his own Roy Prescott Cuore. So we're proud to remember him today as dedicating this performance to him, but also that he will have his own concert dedicated to him tonight by his 2 daughters, actually, and their performer friends, and one of her friends is a Broadway performer also. So word of mouth gets around, and we are able to meet so many wonderful people, such as the New York Mandolin Ensemble, and bring them to you here at Maple Grove. So you'll see outside we do have some flyers for upcoming events, not just for today. We have a summer solstice event on the night of the summer solstice on the 21st. And that'll be free down by the lake if Mother Nature cooperates, otherwise we can do it right in here. There are several others, and you can see them outside. But one particular one is something new. We have a musician in residence, so to speak, that other places are doing that type of thing too. We sponsor a musician or an artist, and we have an artist in residence now too, who's doing work to do stonework in the summer. But anyway, we met up with this composer named Margin Alexander, and he can compose music and be inspired by things like artwork. And so he suggested that he can do a piano soiree with drinks and hors d'oeuvres right in the little room next door for a small group of people, and we're doing that on the 29th. There'll be a small charge, it's $20 or $15 if you're a member, and so ticket sales are online for that. So we invite you to look at our Friends of Maple Grove website or visit us on Facebook. Let's see, what else do we have here? Some housekeeping things. Don't forget to silence your cell phones so you can really enjoy the performance uninterrupted. It will be taped, so try to duck around the back if you have to go outside. And we ask that you don't have any food or drink in the hall. It makes everything stay as clean and beautiful as it is now. And water can create a slippery place for someone to get hurt. We don't want that to happen. So I think I have covered everything that I'm due to. And so I hope that you will enjoy today's performance. Yes?
How old was he when he died?
He was at least in his 60s. I forget what his birth year was. In fact, no, I don't have it here. He might have been 70, at least 70 perhaps. Don't quote me, but yes, but quite accomplished, as are all of the ones behind us. We have over 117,000 burials here. So the source of inspiration is unlimited. And we have discovered so many people buried here who led very interesting, even normal everyday lives. There's some interest as to what they did and how they contributed to our city. And this is why we're Queens today and why we're New York City, because of people like those behind us. So we like to remember them. And it goes to the Egyptian proverb that's downstairs over the doorway to the niche room. And in essence, it says to say the name of the dead is to bring them back to life. That's what the Egyptians believed. And we believe that, you know, in keeping their memory alive, by talking about them and saying their names, we learn more about history too, and about where we come from. So thank you so much. I could go on and on.
Thank you all for coming. We're so happy to be back at this place. It's getting to be one of our favorite places to play. There are some seats over here on the left for people who are still looking for seats to make yourself comfortable. We're a very informal group, so there's no wrong place to clap or whistle or cooey, whatever you want to do, or ask questions for that matter. Dancing, I'm a little bit. But anyway, we're going to start off as we always do our concerts with some Renaissance music. It works so well with mandolins, and I find that it settles the group down to perform. So we're going to start off with some pieces by a Renaissance composer named Dowland. Two bars, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Our next piece is by a son of Johann Sebastian Bach, Philip Bach, also a very highly regarded composer in the English classical period. Bars 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. Renaissance again with two Courantes by a composer named Praetorius. I'm going to count 6 beats and come in on beat 6. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably about a year and a half ago, I met a young man playing in another band. And we got to talking, and I told him that I play mandolin. And he mentioned to me that his father was a mandolin player. And, you know, we chit-chatted back and forth a little bit. And then he told me his father's name, Marty Laster. And immediately my ears perked up because I knew that Marty Laster was a highly regarded musician and mandolin player. And that he had passed away a little earlier. And his son, Michael, mentioned that his father had written a mandolin concerto. And I mentioned, just sort of in passing, oh, you should give me the score sometime, maybe we can do it with our group. And he actually did. And so I looked at it, and we talked about it a little bit, and for purposes of timing, Michael did a little bit of editing to the piece so that we could play it at a concert. And we're going to do that today. And so this is dedicated to Marty Laster, and I'm very happy to say that both Michael and his wife, Jackie, are both here. So I hope that you do it. Let's have a section in B flat. 2, and 3, and.
This was a piece I wrote that was inspired by a place called Merzouga, which is in the Sahara Desert. I got to spend 2 nights there. It was quite spectacular.
Just to the air conditioning. We're going to bring up a special member of our group who plays with us pretty much every show lately. This is another Renaissance piece by an anonymous composer. It's called Meri It Is While the Summer Lasts. This is Jean. Audience actually is Sean's two daughters. I love your daughters. One bar, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
winter's blast and tempest strong. Ah, but this night is long, and I begun such wrong, shed sad tears and mourn.
We're going to do one more piece, and then we're going to take a very short break to reset a little bit. This last piece is one of mine. It's called Courtship and Wedding. What it purports to show is the initial meeting, flirtation, courtship, raucous wedding, and wedding night of a couple. All in approximately 3 minutes and 15 seconds. One bar, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
for this concert, and Steve was able to do something very special for Maple Grove Cemetery. And dedication is to someone who's buried here, Albert Charles Bond, born 1845, died 1918. He was a Civil War veteran, and he's buried here in Maple Grove. He was shot through both thighs in the Battle of Cold Harbor in Virginia. He recovered and returned to his regiment, and while charging up the slope at Fort Fisher, had his throat cut by another bullet, but survived. Later in life, he joined the G.A.R. McPherson Post of Brooklyn, where he acted as a chaplain and often sang a song by the name The Vacant Chair, or The Empty Chair. Now, The Vacant Chair is what you'll see on your program. The Vacant Chair is a poem that was written following the death of John William Grout, 1843 to 1861. Grout was a soldier killed in the Civil War during the Battle of Bull's Bluff. John served as a second lieutenant of Company D, 50 Massachusetts Infantry, and was killed at the age of 18 on October 21, 1861. His body was recovered on November 5, 1861, after being washed 35 miles back to Washington, D.C. His remains were identified by the name written on his clothing. Upon hearing of Grout's death, Henry Stevenson Washburn, a family friend, wrote the poem, The Vacant Chair, later in 1861. It is an allegory that describes the pain suffered by the family of those killed in war during the season surrounding Thanksgiving. The poem was turned into a song by George Frederick Root, who upon reading the poem decided to put it to music. The song was released in 1862 and became very popular in the South and the North. The Vacant Chair.
for that intro. In case you folks haven't seen this instrument before, it's a Portuguese guitar. It's used in Portuguese music called fado music, which is kind of like their flamenco, sort of their blues. Why am I playing it? I was in Portugal a couple of years ago. I heard this instrument, I loved it, I got one, and now I'm writing music for an album of this music, which I just started going into the studio for yesterday. So hopefully within the next year we'll get that out. And I'm going to play one more piece on this instrument, which is called Cycle of Life. And Steve is going to help me out with that. And we performed this at MoMA a couple of weeks ago.
And I'm the character Zeus, and I'm seducing, as Zeus often does, an earthly woman, and I'm being very flirty about it.
1 bar 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
Trees where you sit shall crown
this is by a French composer named Courantes. It's called Les Barricades Mysterieuses. That's a very bad pronunciation.
Gabby, how do you say the name of this property?
Barricade mystérieuse.
Much better.
Say that again.
Barricade mystérieuse.
Oh, that sort of cleans up the taste of mine. Okay, one.
Yes, the members of our ensemble are, to my right, Bob Rose. Tenor Joaquino Clemens. Robinson on guitar. Later. We'll finish up with him. Liz Queller. Wayne Fugate. Kimberly Presti on the and multi-instrumentalist, arranger, composer, and musical director of the New York Mandolin Ensemble, Steven
so lovely that we needed to include her in this group just to balance the rest of us out.
We ready?